Well, hello, welcome to the garden. I realise I haven't done a tour around the garden on a video for ages, and I thought rather than a newsletter this week I would show you what's going on. February the 14th, Lover's Day. So we'll have a quick look round, see what's happening in a truly seasonal cut flower garden where everything's growing at its own pace, as it should be. There are no red roses here. So we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down. So the garden's sort of in three parts really, and at the top here we've got beds and the studio there where I do my courses. And there's a few things that are really lovely at the moment, and one of them is this shrub which is a daphne. It smells absolutely out of this world. I wish I could bottle the smell and send it to you, because honestly we put it by the path here going up to the house, because every time you stand by the back door, come near it, you can smell it. It's gorgeous. The crabapple trees have been amazing this year, but they have now gone a bit yucky because of the few frosts we've had. But the blackbirds really love them. There's been so many berries this year, though, I think they're a bit overwhelmed with how much food there is. There's the bird feeder tree where I put all the food for the birds. Loads of willow that wasn't used at Christmas. This shrub's amazing. It's Petosponum, and this is a variegated one. Really, really useful in flower arranging because it lasts ages. One of my favourites, especially at this time of year, that will be going in jam jar posies that I'm doing at the moment. And also what's going in is anemones. Anemones have been flowering since before Christmas, really slowly, and they're picking up now. They're really beautiful, last ages. Cut them in bud and they last absolutely ages in the vase. So they're doing pretty well. Got loads of beds that haven't been cleared yet. These have got the chrysanthemums from last year, which actually are surviving. They'll probably be dug up and take some cuttings from them. So this is the studio. But it's not too messy because I had a course last weekend, so it's had a tidy up. But lots goes on in here. Seed sowing, flower arranging, like I say, courses. Got my potatoes chitting in here. I do like growing a few new potatoes. So that is that. Then this is going to be a new, well, it was a water feature, but the pump gave up. So I've got a solar pump to go in there, and I've cleaned it out the other day. Emptied it and cleaned it out, and it's already full up again. So that'll be lovely. And I'm not going to bother till the spring when we've actually got, because this is a one sunny day on what has been just so grey around here and wet. So in the middle part here we've got the pond, which is basically a wildlife pond. It's relatively deep and we have loads of newts and that in it, which is great for the garden. And these are all the cutting beds here, but this is mostly perennial in here. Loads of ranunculus under the polythene tunnel here. They are doing amazingly well. Look at them, aren't they gorgeous? And these should be flowering, well, obviously weather depending, but they should be flowering, I say late May. I'm probably totally wrong, but that's when they should be. Then we've got the irrigation through the beds here that I put in last year. You can see some mole action. We live with our moles. And we see tulips coming up. There are signs of spring. I'm not growing as many this year. They are quite expensive. They're a bit of an expensive crop, but love them. These are dahlias that are overwintering in the beds with some leaves over them. Got my little greenhouse there, and my lovely little shed that's rammed full of various stuff. And under here we've got some poppies. And I've just got this fleece on them just to keep the worst of the weather off, really. They are hardy. It's just to stop them rotting, hopefully. Sweet Williams, they're looking pretty good. So they'll be an early summer flower. And we've got some lovely hellebores over here. So look at the hellebores, one of my favourites. Oh, it's been so wet, you see, and it does this to flowers. It makes them, let's just nip him off. Makes stuff rot. It's the worst thing, I think, really, with gardening at the moment, is stuff rotting from the constant wet, damp, milder. I love this one. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's an apricot. Where's the label? It's a, what are you? Double apricot. Isn't that beautiful? There's the label. These are relatively new plants, so they're not massive, but they're gorgeous. Look, oh God, one of my favourites. But I wouldn't cut them this young. They won't last well in a vase. They really need to be pollinated, so they'll be cut later on, sort of end of March time. But yeah, they're relatively small plants at the moment. They take a while to establish. So we go through the arch here, at the bottom, last part of the garden. And this has got more anemones. These are on their 3rd year of flowering, and you can see they're doing pretty well. Again, had some rotting on the petals. I think just I try to get the tunnels open as much as I can, but I want to also keep a lot of the wet off of them, so it's a balance really. And then under here there is more ranunculus, and they're looking pretty good. I've got some others to be planted out at the end there. More Sweet Williams. These are on their 2nd year. You can see how they're a bit bigger. Dahlias overwintering there. Loads of self-sown nigella. I don't bother doing it anymore, it does it itself. It just comes up everywhere. And then yeah, that's sort of it. Let's just go over and climb over the tunnels without falling over to look at the crocus. Aren't they beautiful? I mean, such a welcome dot of colour in the garden at this time of year. So this strip at the bottom we leave. We don't mow it until the end of the summer. It has loads of bulbs coming up in it, which is really lovely. My little potting shed here, which had a sort out and you can actually get in it. It does leak. It does need a new roof. It is very lovely though. I love a shed. I could live in a shed. And we got loads of... Actually, I think they froze last night, but they'll be fine. Loads of hyacinths here that I can still use in planters, which is great. They've been in there since, oh my goodness, I think September I started them. And then down here, right at the bottom, we have got the important compost beds. So I've got 3 of them. That one really needs covering, he's finished. And these ones can probably be used. And then we've got the sheep field, which has got no sheep in at the moment, which is how I like it, because then they can't eat my shrubs. Loads of shrubs down here. The sweet box smells amazing there. And yeah, loads of shrubs that I've put in really in the last sort of, I don't know, 8 years, where there were none down here. There were no beds down here. There was no hedge there. There was no summer house. It's all been done really in the last 8 years, I'd say. Because my husband's amazing at building sheds. Keeps him busy, keeps him out of harm's way, that's what I say. And who wouldn't want, I'm asking you, who wouldn't want a VW camper van bumper outside their summer house? I think it adds to it. So that's it. There's a quick tour. I won't go on because these videos take forever to upload and it's very annoying, so I try and keep them short. But I hope that gives you an idea of the space I grow in and what is in a cut flower garden in the UK at this time of year. There's definitely no roses, they are here. They're definitely doing nothing at the moment other than having a little rest to hopefully be amazing in June, because these do flower really well out here. Well, they have done, let's hope they still do this year. There you go, I'm off now to go and cut some flowers for an order. I shall speak to you soon.